What a dumbass.
My mic was off the whole time, and I had a better. Okay, let me start that over. We're gonna act like that never happened. All right, welcome to episode 5 of the Purple Sticky Podcast. I'm Purple Sticky, and this is Rake. What's up, Rake?
How you doing? Cheers. Thursday night. Thursday.
Oh, you got something? Good. I was ready.
Salud.
So I was just going with the flow. I thought you were.
I'm a little bit upset this evening.
Why?
Because I talked to my old pal Leatherface before the show and he was body shaming me.
I don't want to get into that one, to be quite honest with you. I love how he was saying what he was saying, though. It's funny as hell. And you're a respectful man. You didn't dish it back.
We'll talk about it later. We'll talk about it. It was hurtful. We'll talk about it.
See, Leatherface, Rake is a respectful man. He's going to take you down behind the scenes. All right, so we have a really special show. I feel it's probably our biggest show. If anybody has seen, I'll put it like this. I have a favorite movie from when I grew up called Stoned Age. And tonight's guest was I'll say the lead in that movie, Renee Allman. So I hope I'm saying her last name right. I'm sure she'll correct me if I'm wrong. But she also me and her kind of got to know each other a little bit, talking about COVID. Kind of I think maybe like got off on the wrong foot. But I invited her to the show today because I wanted her to know, number one, you know, I'm not against her at all in any of her views or thoughts. And I'd like to hear more of what she has to say. And also, my buddy, who you work on like vaccines and stuff, right?
I know a little bit about that.
Just a teeny bit. Okay. So I figured you'd help weigh in on anything coming her way or and whatever she has, you know, that she can enlighten you about. And then, you know, our knuckleheads, when we bring them on, I hope they keep it decent, have decent questions or have, you know, good points to lay out. But before we get started, is there anything you'd like to say?
To me?
No, your mom. Come on, dude. Yeah, you. Okay.
I'm still hurting from the negative words, so we'll get into that later. But I can't wait to talk to our guest, talk a little science, and see where the evening takes us.
Well, thank you, Leatherface, for hurting Rake's feelings before the show started, and we'll just get right on it. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome Renee Allman. I hope I'm saying it right. Is anyone producing this show tonight?
Yeah, me.
There she is. Yeah. Am I saying your last name right?
Allman, yeah.
Allman. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Renee Allman. How are you, Renee?
I'm good. How are you guys?
We're great.
Good.
So before we get into the main discussion for tonight, yeah. I'd like to say that I'm a huge fan.
Thank you.
As you can see, yeah, like I said, you probably know which movie's my favorite. But yeah, so quick couple questions for you. I've always been interested because one thing about I've done a little dabbling in acting myself.
Yeah.
And in the 90s, wasn't it a lot more challenging to get roles back then in the 90s?
I guess I could be a little political here. I always say I chose a different route. Like there's the whole Me Too, and I always say, how about said no?
Okay.
That's kind of how that goes. But yeah, it's everybody knows about the business now. It's an open dialogue of,
right,
you know, all of it. And I was approached and offered and approached and offered, and I always closed that door, just because I felt like I didn't want to do that. It just wasn't my gig. But if somebody wants to do that and that's their thing, I'm not saying anything. For me, it wasn't for me. So
Right. Okay, good. And that's what I was getting at. Like,
yeah.
that was an added challenge that didn't need to be, you know?
No, it was just so, it's the creepy way. I think.
Right.
I mean,
Right.
we should all be able to hang out and be cool, and that shouldn't be put upon you as like that's the prerequisite. So for me, I said no, and that's what I stand by. I always say, well, there's me too, and then there's said no, and I said no. So
I
Right.
hear
Well,
LA,
that's
New
great.
York in the 90s, man. Different situation.
yeah, I mean, look, a lot of people got great careers out of it, and if they're fine with it and they can live with themselves, that's fine. But most of them are fucked up, if you ask me. I mean, it's a mess out there. Let's just put it that way.
Well, good on you for doing your thing. So I think
Thank you.
it's really cool.
Great. Thanks.
Yeah, so when did the only thing that I couldn't keep up with was when did you kind of stop the acting and kind of go into familyhood?
Well, I had been offered some pretty big things, and there was just that little, breadcrumb little thing you had to follow, and I wasn't really willing to do that. And at that point, I was like, okay, wait a minute. So we can do these cool little movies. Everyone likes us. They want to see more of us. I'm easy to work with. I mean, I loved everybody from, craft service to everywhere, to the top. I had a great time being on the set. I loved it. But there came a time that it was just that pressure of like, well, if you're not going to put out, then you're not going to,
Yeah.
And
okay.
I mean, I'll say it. I mean, I told Brian Grazer to fuck off and got up out of, I basically said, fuck you, Brian. I got up and walked out of a restaurant, and Trader Vic's to be exact. And he was just like, he couldn't believe that I asked him what I asked him, because it was just like this thing. Okay, we want you to be in this. We want you to do this, and blah, 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 blah. And, oh my God, you're great for this. Da, 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 da. And it just these meetings just wouldn't stop. And I was like, okay, what are we doing? Are we like in the game, or do you want to hire me? Like, where are we going with this? And he goes, okay, well, all right, since you put it like that, I've got something that you want, and you've got something that I want. And I was like, yeah, this is where the road ends. And so,
Right.
and that was that. And he said, well, you may make it. And he goes, you may. And he goes, but I can give it to you right now. So good luck. And so I was like, okay, I'm fucked. Bye. And so that was it,
Right. Well, so when I was growing up, one thing I always wondered, I mean, because like I didn't have the internet growing up.
Right.
As all, yeah. So, when I would, I'll be honest, fall in love with someone on TV.
Yeah.
You just wonder like, oh, how did they do this? Or I wonder if they're really like how they are on screen. And,
Right.
Just from hearing you talk a little bit, when you went into any of the roles that you had, was it all Renee? Like, were you doing Renee in each of these roles, or were you like channeling something else?
See, I mean, whether someone's channeling something else or channeling themselves, I think you're channeling an emotionality of that particular place that you'll go to and allow that to be vulnerable to. You know what I'm saying? But to me, I always thought almost anybody can do it. I mean, it's a little bit of bullshit. Let's just be honest here. I mean, there's no magic thing. Some people just look great and they can photograph great on film, and when they speak, they're believable, and and they can just do things that people like to watch. And so that it just matches up. The camera likes them, whatever it is. And you add that into the mix of just knowing how to speak a little bit, or show some emotion, or they're sexy, whatever it is, whatever their little thing is, and people grab onto it. That's usually what works. But in all actuality, I think anyone can do it. I don't think there's any special magic thing. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But I always thought, this is such bullshit. I mean,
Well,
like,
yeah,
you know
that's
what
what
I
I
mean?
was saying, because
She
I feel
predicted
like
me.
that, watching you in movies and stuff, I was just like, she seems so cool. And
I'm very kicked back. I'm relaxed. I hated going on a set and seeing prima donnas, and like I walk on a set and it was like a lot of the women would be like, there were great people too. I met great people, but there's like this weird ego that is so unnecessary, and it's like I don't know, narcissistic like weirdness that's just like, oh God, I can't. It's grotesque. So
Right.
that was a big reason why, as well, is it's like, if you didn't kiss the right ass of the biggest star and said the compliments or did this, they really didn't want to know you. And I was like, are they that shallow? And a lot of them are. I'm sorry, but they are.
Right.
And sorry, guys, but it is true. For me, I found it offensive. And I liked really old Hollywood, where people were real and more, I don't know, they weren't so perfect, and there were characters, and I don't know, it took a turn to where, I mean, that the whole, I don't know, people started getting so much weird plastic surgery on their faces, and like that whole thing.
That isn't good for you.
Yeah, you're like, okay, I'm gonna pretend like I'm just staring at their eyes. Don't look down at their mouth, and don't look at those weird eyebrows, and don't look. You know what I mean? You're just like, so anyway, yeah. And you're trying to be all normal, and you're like, oh my God, this is just like, and you think, what have we become? And then I always equate it to Brazil, the movie Brazil. I go, we're going into Brazil. Like, that guy made that movie, and like, we're walking in Brazil. This is sick. So I just said, it's just not for me. And if it changes and gets better and people get, I don't know. I think it was just, and then you hear all these things, and I think it's true. The sex trafficking and the pedophilia that goes with it, and the young boys that are being raped and abused, and the young girls that are being raped and abused. And thank God that never happened to me. I mean, I was sort of a little, I don't know, smart ass, badass. I was like, oh, really? I was like, yeah, no, we're not going there. So that was that's just how I am anyway. Are you growling, Valentina? She's growling.
There's a lot of scumbags out there, man.
There's a lot,
realize.
and it's just so, yeah, no, it was not for me. And the thing that I didn't like about the whole Me Too thing, and I'm sorry, guys, sorry, everyone's gonna hate me. They're gonna fuck her, whatever. But the thing that I didn't like is this. Okay, you went to his room. You said, okay, you wanted that part so bad, so you did the deed, and now you're like, oh yeah, well, I guess you're having a hard time looking in the mirror, so you're like, oh yeah, well, he raped me, and trying to somehow convince yourself of something else that's occurred, when all actuality, you put yourself there.
I think
it's like a take, you know what I mean? It's, what?
Like, you saw that happening.
I saw that happening all the time.
Situations were like legit going down.
Oh yeah, I saw a lot of weird things where you're like, oh boy, yeah. But that was about the time I just said, you know what? I had my son Dusty, and then I decided to have another child, and I had my son Jimmy. We call him Jimmy. He's James, but we call him Jimmy. And we were in Malibu at the time, and I just was hanging out and having fun with my family and friends, and and that's about it. And I actually written a few scripts, and I wanted to work, but it was just all the stuff in between. If you can get that out of the way, and people can be normal with each other and not power trip over you, or hold things over you, and I got this if you want that, and actually work as team players and make fun things. That movie actually was really fun. That none of that was going on the Stonedage. That movie was hilarious. That was like one of my favorite movies. I'm not kidding.
Awesome.
You. We were laughing hysterically all the time on that set, and we had so much fun. There was none of those shenanigans going on. It was cool. It was a cool time.
It seemed like everybody got along. Like when I came across that movie, I was like, it was just it fit in with the realm of Dazed and Confused, but I feel like Stonedage was better than Dazed and Confused.
So do I.
Giving it that your perspective on really what it was
more
like
raw.
to kind of be those guys.
Yeah, it was more raw, I thought it was a little bit, it was just funny and cute, and the whole when the father came, I remember China and I were doing the scene when the dad comes in and he's like, "And you, Lainey," and I was like, and he's all disappointed in me. I remember they had to send us upstairs because we kept laughing. So her and I just went into a fit, and we were like, "Jesus, you guys got to stop. He's trying to," and we couldn't get through the scene because we were laughing. It was so silly, but it was great. I had a good time.
The cool thing is all of you have had such great careers after that movie.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Like, and then, cause when I was younger, I was like, oh, I'm seeing these guys everywhere now. Like everyone in this movie. So, and it's weird because you don't expect a movie like that to have people you're going to see later on in life. And that's why, so I bring up this movie. I'm like, you haven't seen this movie, you got to see this movie. And then people that have seen it are like, oh, that's a classic. I own that. I have it. I watch it all the time. So yeah, it's good to know that it was fun making it.
Come on now.
So real quick, someone watching said, weren't you also in Showdown in Little Tokyo? I think.
Yeah, I was. I hated that movie.
Why?
I don't know. I didn't like that movie. The whole experience on that film was just, I didn't
Weird
care.
vibes.
It was a weird vibe. And then my friend's like, dude, the guy, I'm not going to say, there was one of the big main people. My friend had to go over to the house and pick some stuff up, and they said, your face is like on their whole wall, like like a large mansion wall. And I was like, what? I was like, oh wow. So, and it was just surreal and weird. I thought, oh, that's weird. Because they weren't acting like that to me. They were like aloof and like, yeah, you're over there. And I'm like, wait a minute, but you have my face. Like, what the hell? So it was just weird. I don't know. I thought that was just a weird movie. And then it was just so weird because I became friends with Michael Massey, who, because Brandon Lee was in that movie.
Yeah.
And it was, and he went into a huge depression because he was the guy who pulled the trigger in The Crow.
Right.
Michael did. And so it was just like this weird connection thing with that whole ordeal. But he became friends with myself and my husband. Sadly, he passed away a few years ago, but yeah.
So, Rick, do you have any questions for Renee before we move on to bringing those clowns on?
That just got me captivated, man.
Are you guys gonna bamboozle me with vaccine stuff?
No.
I'm like,
we worry about that later. No, but listen to all the stories about your experiences at that time period, the different movies you were in. That was really cool. That was really cool to hear about.
There was a few movies that I did really actually have a fun time on, and there were a few things that were rather odd. So yeah.
Yeah, I had a bit too much fun in my movies, but that's another story.
Renee, do you know who he is?
Hopefully not.
He's one of them jackasses from the Jackass.
I kept saying like, okay, like I feel like I've seen this dude, but you know what? I swear, my youngest son would totally know you, and my older son would really know you. My oldest son is 37.
He was more seen on Viva La Bam, the MTV's Viva La Bam.
Yes. So how did you like?
And all the deleted scenes. It was
dude, that was gnarly.
Like listening to your experiences.
Yeah.
It was funny because the experience of doing a project that you really like loved, you know what I mean? It was like a labor of love.
Yeah.
You know, you put your heart and soul into it, and then sometimes once there's notoriety, once things get popular, like once you enter the machine, it's a different world. You know what I mean? You're like, this is how it goes. People are all over the place.
Yeah.
And it eventually fucking ruined everything.
I know.
I was there. Luckily, I was there to see the whole shit house go down in flames. So
it's true.
Yeah, I mean, that's like how you explained it. I was like, what? And then like, sometimes you got to make a choice. Like, do you want to be part of the problem or do you want to be part of the solution?
Yeah.
And so I admire your choice.
The problem by, like, I think you should just be straight up. Yep. That's what I think. I think if shit's happening, I was straight up and I had a big mouth and they were just like, she's a little bitch, man. So but I didn't care. I was like, no, I mean.
No, you were a big fish in a tank full of minnows. And most of them got swallowed up and spit out.
They were trying to, they were nipping at my ankles.
No, you made it through. Your story was that was a great one.
Thank you.
I appreciated hearing that.
Unscathed.
And now,
so I guess
comes the fun.
Before
comes the fun part.
Oh no! That's why I was like, oh my god. That's why I have my partner in crime here with me. She's like, I'm like, I don't know if they're bamboozling me, but you better be here.
No. This is so everything you were explaining, that's what we want this show to be. You know what I mean? Legit. Yeah. Be able to speak your mind, talk to people. No one's judging no one.
Yeah, I don't judge anybody. Everybody can do whatever they want.
Good.
No, I was judged tonight. It made me upset. I'm going to leave it at that. We'll talk about that later. But other than that, I look forward to having a lot of great conversation.
Good. Me too.
Okay.
Well, let's get started.
So wait. All right. So before we bring them on, my question is, who here is vaccinated? All right, Renee, are you vaccinated?
No.
Okay. Is tech support behind you?
No.
Okay.
No. But I already had COVID, and I was in New York several months prior to the shutdown, and I literally almost died. So it took me 19 months to come back, and I dropped down to 79 pounds, and I had tremors, seizures, and paralyzed.
Oh, wow.
I got kicked out of 3 hospitals, and I was down here at USC, Keck USC, and there was a doctor. I don't know if I'm allowed to say her name, so I won't, because I don't want to get you guys in trouble, but there was a head of immunology there at the time, and they literally put me in another room in the back. And she looked at me and said, lady, like kindly, she said, I tell you, she's like, you are so sick. If I place an IV in you, you will not make it.
Yeah.
So I left out of there crying and shaking. And you gotta understand, I was falling apart, and I knew there was something seriously wrong with me. And I knew that whatever this was, it was like nothing I had ever experienced. And I was several months into it. I was having cytokine storms, shaking, and fevers for 4 months. And then I figured out how to fix myself. And I went about it. I figured it out. I figured out Zoonotic. I figured out Z-Pack. I figured it all out. and got myself back on track. But it took me 19 months, and my heart and my lungs really took a beating.
Wow.
I'm back, guys.
That's an impressive story.
I'm glad that you look very healthy, very happy. So
yes.
Thank you.
I'm very, very, very. That's awesome. I mean,
Yeah,
and
that's
what it's
awesome
all
to hear.
about.
I know, right?
So
Absolutely.
I personally experienced it, and I knew that there was something really catastrophic out there, and nobody would listen to you no matter what.
Okay, so here's the thing. So, Rick, you're vaccinated, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm vaccinated.
Yeah.
All right, so now I'm interested, Renee, when I kind of, and I apologize. It seemed like I kind of
I know,
came
it's
at you.
fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just, like, maybe it's this, maybe it's that. I thought
Right,
you were
me
just
too.
gunning in one direction.
Hey, that's a normal, everybody's doing that. It's natural. Okay. I mean, I have boys. I mean, my youngest 19, my oldest is 37. So,
okay.
I mean, right? Yeah. So, I mean, yeah.
All right. So, because I'm interested in what you were posting recently about what you are hearing was put in the vaccine. I'm interested for you to lay that on us, and then I'm interested on Rake's take, and I don't know if these other guys were about to bring on what their take is, but
I know exactly
that's
what's
what
going to
should make
happen.
this interesting.
As soon as you turn on that little
they're gonna rip me a new asshole, probably.
I know what's going to happen.
Well, I think for the viewers, and anyone watching, hearing everybody's different perspective will make everybody, whoever's uneasy or whoever has unanswered questions, it might change something tonight for whoever's watching. So that's the main purpose.
I mean, everybody has a choice. And
exactly.
this is what it's coming down to. We shouldn't be taking people's choices away. And the sad thing that's happening is that I particularly know people that had been taken away and they were injured or they did die. And that's sad.
Yeah.
And so it's like, to me, it seems like we are like, okay, here we go. There's the gun. It's on the table. It's Russian roulette.
Right.
Who's going to go down? I'm like, yeah, no, I'm going to take my chances. No.
Right.
Well, I'm going kamikaze that way. I don't want to do that to myself.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, without further ado, if someone's still producing the show, you bring on everybody.
Captain Rob. It's going so good.
Captain Rob.
Gay Batman.
Gay Batman.
Dave.
That's funny.
All right.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
So
hey, Batman, great job looking out for your boy Jimmy Castle yesterday. You really came through when you needed you fruit.
I just want to point something out before we start.
It's like the
demented
Brady Bunch.
Yeah, you got like a pirate and a gay Batman. It doesn't look good.
Look, the world famous Jimmy Castle.
Hey, Captain Rob, your patch is kind of slid to the side there, Chief.
I think I'm okay.
Did he say you got to slip your pants to the side?
No, that's just what your stupid ass heard.
So, I'm going to ask a question
of
Renee's friend. So you said that you treated yourself with Z-Pact, correct?
Yeah, you guys don't even want to know what I did. So yeah, but yes, I did. I actually treated
azithromycin, right?
Yeah, Z-Packs. I actually did something that you probably shouldn't have never done, but much like you guys, and much like most people in life, like, come on, like, has anybody ever experimented with anything in life? I don't know.
You live again.
So I'm going to say this. I had COVID before they gave it a name. Okay. Yeah. So I can understand exactly what you went through as well. My doctor actually called it an aggressive respiratory infection.
I had that too, right before she had it, and I was in bed for 6 weeks. So
yeah, I was down for approximately 2.5 months. Took 3 rounds of Z-Pack to get rid of it. And then a friend of mine who was Native American told me to drink a tincture made from old man's beard, which is a natural antifungal, antibacterial, and then but tonic water.
What about old men did you do?
What did he say?
Whoa.
My beer's probiotic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not that type right there, Rake. But it was called usnea. It's what the Native
Usnea and
Americans
Are
call it.
you vaccinated?
No.
Oh, you're in our box.
Yeah.
So, but I will tell you why. I just got over Delta.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And I cannot.
So you had the flu.
Because it would hurt me.
I'm not vaccinated.
Well, they say
either.
if you've had COVID, you should not anyway.
Yeah.
It's like the D-dimers seem to go through the roof. You know that.
Sorry, Sticky, I'm not trying to rain on your parade, but
I won't agree with that, but I'll
My
let you
personal
go.
doctor, my physician
Okay.
told me
Yo,
not to
Faith,
get the vaccine.
turn the fucking music down, dude.
How about lick my nuts?
All we hear
So
is your stupid ass background track drowning
I
everybody
was just
out.
saying that my personal physician
Shut up,
told me
Pirate.
not to get vaccinated for now.
And he came to music again.
Oh,
Fuck
no.
up.
Yeah,
All right.
fuck
Much like
everybody
you.
else, right? It's the Leatherface show.
Much like you, I did take 4 Z-Packs in a row. Okay. I did take
The Leatherface is taking 4
anti-parasitical.
Z-packs.
I did take, no, I did. I took 4 Z-Packs in a row. And I had to take an anti-parasitical that I got a hold of. And that's
got
when
the cure
the
of COVID
seizures
right
actually
there.
stopped for me.
Yeah.
So, and the paralysis started to kind of resolve itself.
And she used frequency as well.
And I used
Yeah.
frequency, which we won't talk about.
I am
blood
not an
paralysis.
anti-vaxxer. I'm not for or against vaccines. I believe in personal choice.
I'm with you.
I spent 21 years as a firefighter paramedic. So I have my other reasons why I will not take the vaccine.
I hear you.
I'm with you on that. I'm not an anti-vaxxer. I've been vaccinated my whole life.
I was vaccinated my whole
So-
life.
Yeah.
Okay, so
who else?
so wait, hold on. Retards above me. Are you guys vaccinated?
You are.
Leatherface,
Hey,
Rob.
Batman, are you vaccinated?
Nope.
No.
Okay.
I've never been
Captain
vaccinated.
Rob, are you
Not even
vaccinated?
when I was in school did I get vaccinated.
Vaccinated.
Captain
But-
Rob and
Leatherface, are you
Batman
vaccinated?
inject each other, but
Hell
they're
no.
not vaccinated.
I have a very
Did you
high.
say no?
Hell no.
Daddy
Oh,
is
okay.
on a side. We're doing
Richard.
I have a
something.
very high immune
Hey,
system.
oh my God, he's so cute.
Oh my
You
God.
get
Hi,
out.
what's your name?
That's your name.
Aw.
Just gonna stare.
I'm Hellboy Jr.
Say hi.
How
Now
are
we're
you?
talking science.
I'm Renee. This is Melissa. Wait, what's his name?
His name is. What's your name?
What do you
Little
say?
Richard.
Careful
Okay,
not to
go
slide
talk
off
to
your
your
daddy's
mother. I love
spandex.
Don't get any of daddy's chemicals. Go.
Right.
They
They were asking what your boy's name was. We didn't hear it.
Oh,
I
what
don't
was
know.
that?
He's not my kid. I just rented him for an hour.
No.
All right, back on topic. So, Renee, something you
Yes.
posted, I think it was a video you reposted about HIV being in this vaccine.
That was weird. I was like shocked when I saw that too. That was
She's
supposedly
not
like,
lying.
huh? Yeah, I know. That's. And then when they say like we just
But
have
also
a
that's
little
how
bit
that's how
of
the game
HIV,
works.
I'm like, well, is that like a little bit pregnant? I mean,
Right.
just a teeny bit. So
So which manufacturer puts that in their vaccine?
Just have a little AIDS with your vaccine.
just a tad, a little bit. You know, it's okay.
If you want to live, sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
You know,
That's
So-
nuts.
to
Renee,
me,
what-
that makes about as much sense as a little joke I have when I would say like, God damn it, Rake, I hope you fall right face first in a puddle of AIDS. That doesn't exist.
Yeah,
So that makes as much sense as intention.
No, there
and keeping up with
is
HIV.
they do have a little bit.
technique that's widely used when making vaccines that you weaken other vaccines or you change, you modify the DNA of that weakened vaccine
But
to
the
do what
only
you
problem,
needed to do to try and save your life or your kid's life. I
well,
mean, that's
the problem
all
is
it's
that
about.
the problem that we're dealing with is the spike protein. They weren't it's too toxic, and they weren't expecting that to break off. So it breaks off, and it goes floating through the body, and then because we have the mRNA, it's replicating. So whereas a natural virus you'll produce, I don't know, like when you're sick in the midst
Okay,
of
so let me.
100,000.
They knew that was
Which
going to
isn't an
happen.
invalid one.
It's a
She's
what?
saying there's a degradant of the mRNA that then becomes non-trivial concentration in the blood
No,
that then affects the ribosomal creation of proteins
right,
that may be immunogenic or cause other problems.
right.
So what's
Now,
So Dr.
the
Malone,
chance of that happening is non-zero. But that being said, weird random shit happens in biochemistry all the time.
yeah,
That's just happening in your body every day.
They're finding these spike proteins in these coroners. There's like 30. There's a group of 36 different doctors around the world that are scientists, doctors, coroners, Germany, France, Switzerland, all over, and they're here. And they're if you look at some of their slides and stuff. There's the autopsies. They've never seen this before. First of all, we've never seen blood clots in the capillaries ever before. We've never seen this.
I mean, thrombosis happens. I'm not a doctor.
never,
I will not claim to be a doctor, but we
never
those are
in
numbers
the
you can look up.
capillaries. Yeah, never in the capillaries. It's
So-
not been seen. This is new, and it's new what they're seeing. They did this autopsy. It was so insane. So they had the brain there, and it has that thin membrane down the middle, and like there's the four things, and it was so swollen. It was huge, and it was just filled with like stuff that was like blood, but
Yeah, I mean, a
like
bad
turned to
immunogenic
jelly.
response. That type of thing sucks.
Yeah,
You know
no,
what I mean?
that's
And now,
Oh yeah.
yeah, that does suck
hopefully-
for that person.
and with the information they have, people can try and fix that. But unfortunately, that type of shit happens every day, and people need to worry about
that's never happened.
like what's your risk tolerance. To me, that's what it's all about.
Well,
So
the problem,
someone like you probably remember, and you and maybe not your buddy, but I know I do. The when AIDS was first popping off, 81,
Right.
82,
right?
our older brothers and sisters were partying, like some real stoned age type shit. And then
Yeah.
some people were just like, fuck that, man.
Yeah,
I don't believe in that shit, or I drink enough
They
fucking
got it,
discount.
yeah.
I get, I'm fucking
but
sterile
that's
anyway.
different. We're talking about
And they
it.
just didn't want to protect themselves from a virus.
Right, but that's me
I
wanting
mean,
to
that
protect
it is
myself
what
from
it
this
is.
thing.
Like,
That's the same thing. I don't want to go out there and take it. No.
yeah, no, I mean,
lay
it is
low.
what it is. People don't want to wear rubber. They don't want to take a vaccine.
Yeah, and I don't want to take a needle.
That kind of is what it is. But in this situation, you need to figure out what is best for you and your family. And
Exactly.
hopefully people
So
just
now-
give you the right information.
But that's
That's all I need.
bringing us to that.
her cousin just died.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
She's a nurse, and she had to take the vaccine, and she died 2 weeks later of a brain aneurysm.
Well,
I'm sorry. Jesus.
I'm very sorry for her. I'm
It's-
trying not to have the same thing happen to me.
Yeah, it's
Well,
happening.
And I wonder if it's more prominent in like ethnic communities because I'm ethnic.
No, sometimes it could be.
Yeah.
There
So
very well be situations where
What nationality are
certain
you?
ethnicities
Well,
respond better or worse. That's just
I'm
how
Spanish.
medicine works. It works like that in everything that people take.
So I'm going to chime in here real fast. So my doctor said one of the reasons why the COVID didn't affect me so bad is because of my blood type factor. I actually
Could
have
be.
Because you're ugly.
What's your
Typo
blood type
negative.
factor?
typo negative.
What are you?
Typo negative blood factor.
I'm O positive.
I'm O positive.
Did
Yeah.
you say Dave? Did you say you're homo negative or positive?
No,
No, that's an awesome
Whoa.
band, typo negative. Don't fuck with his blood.
I was just trying to get
Yeah.
him an option. to
that's an
back-
excellent band, by the way, Ray.
I'm Italian.
Yes.
But we have they have I think it was Philadelphia just came out with a study that 78% of the people that died of COVID were fully vaccinated. I mean, so it's not working.
78% of the people who are dying now, if a significant
All right, so-
portion are vaccinated, and you have to look at the demographic of that population, that unfortunately are deceased. So
Right.
you know
Well,
what I mean?
Israel's
What cowboy fucking hillbilly fucking trailer park Love you. I mean, what he's saying though could be absolutely right. If there's not enough information that you can trend either some kind of genetic type or blood type
Right.
to the negative outcomes, then he could very well be correct. He could
Well, that's what
100% be correct.
that's what my
Right. I
biologist
just don't
told
want to
me.
be a part of an
You know?
experiment. That's how I feel. I feel
Unfortunately,
like
I mean, in my world, now we're all the experiment. I
no,
watch
no,
it
no.
every
I
day.
understand. I have children, and
I mean, I got kids
I
too,
don't
man.
want my children
My
experiments done.
kids' teacher just got all roaned up. Like her, that's just what happened. They're all vaccinated, but now the kids are feeling like shit. It's we're all one big petri dish right now.
We are. It's a giant experiment. I mean, vaccines take 10, sometimes 20 years to develop.
But that's great that we can have this conversation, share ideas. Like I say, me having some, I'm not an expert, but some intimate knowledge in vaccine manufacture and research. And, people that just may not have had exposure to that type of information. But also me listening to your concerns, because everybody's different. Every person's different.
Let's talk about what the vaccine's really about.
Wait. So
I wish they had more like good shit in them.
Well,
the party,
right?
Hey, Sticky's trying to talk.
Who?
I don't know. Yeah, everybody stop. No, I just wanted to get to one thing with Renee. Renee, you did tell me that your family's vaccinated, correct?
That my what?
That your children are vaccinated?
No. I have one. My older boy was vaccinated. My younger boy was vaccinated, and he was injured when he was a baby. And so his pediatrician told me not to vaccinate him. It would be like Russian roulette.
Yeah, she's listening to her doctor.
It was such a violent reaction that it was. I mean, he had blood come out of his ears, and his lymph nodes swelled on his scalp. It looked like a science fiction, and he screamed bloody murder for 3 days. So I was like, okay, I never knew that there was a reaction from a vaccine. Growing up, we were all vaccinated. We stayed away from the people that weren't vaccinated. It was like this whole thing, right? So it was just this. That's how we were raised. And then I learned very quickly, and that's when I started doing homework. And then my husband was injured by a pharmaceutical drug. He's an actor, well-known actor, and he took Accutane to clear his skin because his face was breaking out from makeup from
I remember that. Okay.
Yeah, and he took this, and it melted his large intestine. And so when they opened him up, it was worse than a gunshot wound. And so they reconnected him. He wore a colostomy bag for like a year, and then they reconnected him. And then so everything runs on his small intestine. So his life was completely altered. And I was like, what the fuck are these people doing? This is insane. Okay. Then my sister, who was taking she was depressed. So her psychiatrist, my younger sister, gave her some antidepressants and something else. And then she drank a couple of glasses of wine and never woke up. So I was like, fuck, these drugs are out of control. And then I had people that were overdosed, the opioid crisis and stuff. And you're like, oh my God, they're dead. Like, what? So for me, I started really looking into all of these things and saying, what are we putting in our bodies? And one minute they say, oh, this is great. And the next minute it's pulled off the market. And then, oh, this is wonderful. Oh, they all died. Pull it off the market. And I was like, okay, I'm not going down this road of like, let's try and see what happens. I've been burned a few times and have been in the wake, and it's painful to watch family members pass away or be injured, to the point where you're having to fix them.
Yeah, I mean, having intimate knowledge of the situation, I would always advise people, if you don't need to ingest a substance, then you're probably better off not taking a medicine that you don't need.
Yeah.
But that being said, to talk to your physician, consider your own body, and always have that like very transparent conversation with the physician.
That's the thing.
So
And then they just had that
if something's not going right.
Exactly.
Then,
And
that's the best we can do.
they just had
I
this,
agree, Ray.
Population control.
they just had this whistleblower from Pfizer.
Pfizer.
Did you guys see that? Have you guys been watching the stuff that I'm posting?
So, are you talking about what Project Veritas is doing?
Yes, and he was
Yes.
like, "Oh yeah, because it only that spike protein only gets the outside protein; it misses the other 3 or 2 or whatever it is." So,
I mean, if we had a lot of time, I would love to talk to you about the molecular biology, about the outer surface of different viruses and the carbohydrates and all the other molecules.
I know what you mean.
But you gotta latch on.
I'm up for the conversation.
It would be like if we needed to get rid of all the scumbags in this little Brady Bunch thing.
Oh, come on!
And then I'm just looking for long black hair.
Oh,
You're done.
you know what do I? Yeah, look at that's where my mind's going. I'm going, wait a minute. And I mean, I know a lot of people already. Okay, I've had friends, her business partner took the vaccine, he's dead. I know probably in around different people that have been injured or hurt, like at least 20 people. I don't even know anybody who has AIDS.
So the spike protein's right up there. So now we make a vaccine for the spike protein. And it's probably going to get rid of a lot of the scumbags in this room. It's going to get rid of me, probably, definitely.
GBS for everybody. Everybody wants to do Berry syndrome.
But that's kind of how, like, when you make a medicine, it has to work. You can only do your best to target what it is you need to target to try to really help somebody and stop them from getting sick or dying.
So
the Dr. Malone, who was he was the inventor of the messenger RNA, and Dr. Robert Malone, he said that we shouldn't ever put that in our body. So that
the only thing I don't like about messenger RNA is it's so fucking unstable.
But he said with the spike protein, he said they know that proteins are dangerous and they know that they don't stay in the arm. They break off.
You got to freeze the vaccines like Han Solo. That's the only thing I don't like.
Or the politicians.
Them too.
But the problem is we're going to need cheaper, more transportable medicines if we want to save more children. I mean, I got 2 kids like you.
Yeah,
I'm lucky, man. I live in Westchester. I live outside of Manly Manheim with Purple Sticky, where we roll our kids in gravel and horse shit.
One of the things, sorry.
If you want to try and help the rest of the world, sometimes you just have to do the best you can do.
Well, I mean, yeah, and that's a whole nother thing. We need to. I mean, do we really want to have these be mandated to keep having these shots? I mean, that's just nuts. I think we're stepping over. Look,
your roommate
they're outside their
reach.
reach.
Shit, by the way.
Biden and the people here in California, Newsom, he's overstepped his reach. We have to keep within our rights as human beings, and we need to be free.
Yeah, they need to be impeached in prison.
Conversations like this. I know plenty of people that vaccinate, don't vaccinate, whatever. Everybody just does.
So here's my thing.
Our whole life.
I think that
suddenly it's become like they're over there and they're over there.
And it has to be a conversation. It's like you're saying back in the day. You saw what you saw in old fucking 90s, Hollywood fucking, there's some trashy motherfuckers out there.
Yeah, they are.
And there's people that were like, yeah, I'm down. I'll party. Like, it is what it is. But then there's other people that might have got dicked over. But there has to be a continuum. It can't be an us or them. And I completely agree with you.
Yes, the conversation. And that's the problem, because it seems like they're doing this. Like the media, they posted this thing on ABC.
Yeah.
And they said, write in and tell us your story of what's the matter. What's he doing?
Oh, no, it's my buddy X.
That's
the first time I ever saw an area of the United States where they said it was potentially a problematic neighborhood, but everyone still had a yard.
Oh yeah,
in
exactly.
LA.
In LA.
Yeah.
So anyway, they said. So they asked everyone, okay, do you have a loved one that passed away before they could get the vaccine? And they had such an overwhelming response, about over 250,000 response. Yeah, just talking about it, but it was all negative. They were saying, yeah, this died, lost their legs, blood clots, this and that. Will you write about this? It took me 3 days to go through all of them. I was like, are you kidding me? Not one whisper. So to me, it feels like they're going like this. Like, why the big push?
So
why the big
reports
need
need to be followed up. They need
right.
to be
Why the
investigated.
big push, though?
You know,
why
like legitimately, so looked into for real.
So look at the vaccine court record.
We go, instead of going, shut up, we're not talking about that. Keep the shot coming. Shut up. You're over there. Keep it coming. We should be going, oh, wait a minute. He had myocarditis. Why did he have myocarditis? Hey, can you bring that nurse over here? Have him jot that out. Make sure you call the so-and-so and let them know that we're not having these conversations.
Now, I am going to lay it down like this, though. You know, knowing a little bit about the field like I do, talking to my kid's pediatrician. I have 2 kids myself.
Right.
I offered them for a clinical trial. There were none. And the second, you know what I mean, that they can get protected, because I know the shit's going down in their school right now. I think that'll give them the best chance of survival. So that's what I want to do, you know, for my particular kids.
Right. I understand your feeling on that.
So one of the things I wanted to say, because I've been holding back here for a second, was with COVID-19. So I smoke cigarettes. I'm diabetic. I'm overweight. I should be dead according to all the medical science out there. Right. When it comes to COVID. Now, I did have a question to ask your friend next to you. If she has the side effect that I have, how much damage did it cause to your heart? Because it caused 40% to mine.
Or you got myocarditis?
Yeah, it caused 40% damage to my heart.
I'm very sorry to hear that, man.
Okay, so obviously I contracted it several months prior, and nobody knew what it was.
Yeah,
I fixed myself, and then the shutdown happened, and I've been terrified to go to the doctor since. So I personally have not had any kind of workups or anything, because I don't know, but I do something completely different, which is frequencies that I don't like to talk about.
Yeah, that's fine.
And so I kind of monitor myself.
Right.
And I take care of myself that way.
Okay.
Now, as far as pre-existing conditions, I don't drink, I don't smoke, I'm an equestrian, I ride a couple horses a day, I'm a competitive person.
That's cool.
Except for I did have an autoimmune because I did have disease. So when I went down hard.
Ouch.
So,
well, we have,
and that's how I knew it was a zoonotic, because I know what it feels like. I know exactly what a vector virus feels like, and it's really intense. It's not like anything you'll ever feel. So when you get hit by one of these zoonotics, you know it, and you know it really quick. And Lyme disease is a biologically engineered disease. They can claim whatever they want to claim. I suffered with it for 30
And I was around her.
Yeah.
And I got sick, but I was sick for 6 weeks in bed. I couldn't move.
Yeah.
And I did have my smell and taste. I was like, I didn't eat for
I
weeks.
didn't lose any one of those either.
Yeah, and I remember you have to eat something. Here's some soup. I'm like, no, you're doing something weird to the soup. This is weird. Like,
right.
What's wrong with this? You know, it just was like everything tasted like shit. I was like, what's wrong with the food? What are you guys doing? You don't know how to, you know. And I thought it was, you know.
But Renee is a great friend, because I was sick. I had friends spending the night taking care of me. I mean, this one was on the couch. I was like, I literally needed help, and no one would help, because
you were literally knocking on death's door, and she came to help you out.
Oh, she is the best. I got to tell you, one of the best. I mean, there isn't
girl,
anything I wouldn't do for her. Let's put it that way.
That's cool. You and me, girl, we got something in common as well. I grew up on a draft horse ranch, so I grew up around perching on draft horses my whole life.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And I also have something to say about that. I did trick riding and pole vaulting.
I bet you did.
We're not talking about your gay porn.
On horseback. Thank you again. You know I like it.
So my last thing I'm going to say is because I just say this to people: do research on whatever medication people are trying to give you guys. Inform yourselves. Be an informed person before you let anybody talk you into any medication, viral injection, or whatever. Determine what your own personal risk factors are, folks.
Oh, we do.
Take that
and you ask your
before
physician,
you guys get a
and
vaccination.
they need to be able to explain it.
Oh
Yes.
yeah. I have a lot of friends that are doctors and nurses, and in our area where we are, there's a lot of pretty good doctors. And it's funny because India, they introduced the early treatment program where they do it. I guess you have to do it earlier; it doesn't work, but the ivermectin, these kits. And once they introduced these kits to these families, India's numbers went down. They're doing fantastic.
There
and
could be something to that.
Yeah, I mean, their numbers are just, I mean, that's science.
If you want that level of certainty, you just need to wait for the research.
Right. And the research with Israel, they're on their third round and they're fucked. They're all dying in the hospital. They're going down.
I mean, it's just like Missouri.
It's crazy.
It's all the cities that are highly vaccinated.
And what you have to, so here's the bottom line. Well, when it comes to epidemiology, trying to defeat an epidemic,
right.
Once you exterminate all the enemy, once the virus has no host and there's no more virus, that's it.
Well, then you have to
It's
deal
over.
with
The
damage
problem
it's
is
done.
we didn't get there, and personally, I don't think we're going to get there.
Well,
So
they never did.
You know what I mean?
Right.
It's not a great situation.
Right. The one question we need to ask
it may be what it's going to be. I would just encourage everyone to talk to their physician, like you're saying, research stuff like you're doing, and make a decision that they just think is the best long term for themselves and their family. I mean, that's all you can ask someone to do.
I know. We've had 7 kids in our county, young kids that we know that have died since taking
and unfortunately, I hate to tell you, more will die.
That's not okay.
No, more will die.
Yeah, but that's
that's all there is to
Well,
it.
the thing is, too, I don't know. I don't trust this Fauci asshole. I'm sorry. He's just fucking nuts. Dude,
like I
he's
said,
bad.
the numbers are the numbers.
Gain of function, really?
He's doing the same pattern he did in Africa.
Really, with China? Really? I mean, come on.
Why does he own a patent on COVID-19?
Yeah, he owns the patent. The CDC hardly owns the patent.
Look up the math.
I mean,
follow the graph.
Dude, you're not allowed to own anything of nature. How do they? It's an illegal patent.
Like I said, I come from my family's originally from Australia. My dad lived through diseases like polio, taught me about it. I have a smallpox shot from when I was 1 year old, or you couldn't go to Australia, even though I didn't need it in '75.
Right.
But it is what it is. If people want to live, they have tended to.
We can't trust this dude.
Take a medicine that helps them live. But I mean, not everyone has to make that decision.
Like 1 minute he's saying one thing, the next minute he's saying, "Dude, get it straight, all right? You got shit talking sideways out your mouth."
Well,
he's a Democrat.
Here's the thing. I can try to provide our listeners,
there you go. Yeah,
I can provide our listeners, hopefully, with the resources they need to do their own calculations, to do their own.
And why are they
look at the data that's available?
Censoring?
Like they calculated the votes.
Censoring is that's like the Wicked Wizard behind the curtain of Oz. Sorry, it's like what? Why can't we talk about this? Why are we censoring it? And why isn't it on the news? And why aren't we hearing about? So
here's what I think the main problem is. It's when you're dealing with a large population, they're trying to figure out how to articulate a message that everybody can relate to.
Socialism.
That is rooted in fact.
But we can relate to a message of you're going to die.
I mean, I could. I would love to show
we won't tell you that their brains and hearts are exploding.
But if you show error bars,
I mean, that's just
and
not okay.
And shit like that. I mean, it kills everyone's boner. It kills my boner.
That's racist.
It kills it for everybody.
Do that shit every day.
It's just.
I mean, statistics are a
we
boner
do
killer.
have to have the conversation.
Everybody knows that.
And I don't think
So
you guys
can't
should
put
be
it on the
taking these
news.
boosters over and over. What's that going to do to you guys?
X will watch. X will watch.
I don't know.
We'll be watching wrestling and then texting each other or whatever.
Yeah.
Especially in that shirt, right?
But it's like, how do you know?
Wait a minute. Hey, have you tried that thing where you put the QR code and see if you are in the Matrix? Yeah.
Magnets.
No, I haven't. No.
Have you tried it?
Pardon me to be an asshole now, Perp.
You just
I don't have any tattoos. I should get a
Gay
tattoo.
Batman Martiv.
No. You gotta try where they put the shot. Like, I don't know if that's real. Is it real? Like when they do that, I've seen it and I'm like, is that real?
I'm gonna get the
Batman,
molecular
tell
weight
him. Is it
of
real?
the Pfizer
I don't know if it's
vaccine
real. Do you think
tattooed
it's real?
inside a Iron Maiden Number of the Beast tattoo.
Let's do a live scan. Let's do a live scan right now, Rick. Put your vaccination scar on the screen. And let's scan it.
Yeah. What about that?
Graphene oxide.
Let's talk about that.
I got
It has personally identifiable information.
And put it right to the camera, right? And let's scan it and see what video it goes to.
Japan turned over 1 million. They turned away 1 million of their vaccines. They said, take them back. We don't know what
They're Japanese. They turn away a lot of stuff.
Jeez. But they did.
It's got to be wrapped on point.
Okay, what about the biodistribution study that Japan did?
Yeah, what about the biodistribution study that Japan did?
I don't know.
All
I do know is they're old. And they don't want to die, most of them.
Well,
the Okinawas get to live to be over 100.
Or end up in vaccine court.
Okay, so Gay Batman had a question for Renee.
Yes.
Sushi lets you stay young.
What'd you say?
I said, that's why I eat sushi, because sushi helps you stay young.
There you go.
It's not working for you, buddy.
Fish oil. You're getting a lot of vitamin D.
Leatherface told me about his elixir for use, but I declined.
I don't know about the rest of you, but I don't get sick like that.
That's good. You probably have a lot of.
Your voice sounds sick. It's like fucking Stone Loc on crack.
My voice is messed up because I'm always yelling at you fuckers.
It's like,
yeah, that's what it is.
It's like Stone Loc almost.
Isn't it funny that the virus fucks with this? Because look at the smell and taste are the thing that goes right with everybody.
Dude, if I could have engineered,
and they're like, yeah, you need zinc to get better. Well, it must be doing something. It must be doing something to shut our zinc down, because zinc controls smell and taste, right? It's the mineral that controls that. So
that's the thing, like getting the right bioanalytical data, looking at the study results, like really looking into what the studies tell you as
guys should all be taking. Hey, for you guys that are vaccinated,
but there's a lot of biochemistry in there.
Wait, let me tell you something. Wait, Rake, hold on. So, okay, so you need to be taking, since you're vaccinated, you need to be taking, and you too, Purple Sticky over there, you need to be taking quercetin. You need to be taking zinc. You need to be taking D3.
Life insurance policy.
Because the quercetin, and the NAC, because that protects the liver and lungs. And the quercetin, and if you don't want to go out and buy it supplements, you can just if you eat grapefruit, if you're not on any of those weird statins
I like grapefruit
or whatever.
But
no, you have to eat the white part. And the white part, the flesh, that's all quercetin. That's like a natural way of getting it if you just want to take it. But quercetin will protect your capillaries and stuff. Since you guys have been vaccinated, you want to protect that,
Okay.
I'm being the mom here, okay?
No, it's okay. And hey,
I'm gonna do this now.
I just want to come off. I apologize for not. I'm not trying to be an asshole, and I'm so happy that we actually get to talk about stuff.
I know, me too. I like having.
I would literally be at your house partying right now.
I know you guys could be
face to face. You know what I mean? I have
no
problem with your decision.
I
think,
don't have.
that's great.
You guys, look, I have friends that are vaccinated. I mean, they chose to, and that's their choice, and I'm fine with it. I'm fucking scared of that thing. I'm not doing it.
and that's okay. But the key is for people to talk.
Yeah.
Well, why are there so many haters?
I know the haters are out there, just like, oh.
There's so many haters against me.
And here's the important part too. I know that you guys and me, it doesn't happen to be here in 5 years.
What did he
All
say?
this shit will be gone. What am I going to like alienate
But
people?
okay, so wait a minute. How do you guys
no
feel
reason.
about these mandates and then like saying like, oh, you can't go in this restaurant now and you're going to, I mean, dude, we're getting like little Germany here.
So people need to realize in the United States of America,
crossed that line.
In the United States of America, the way it's been set up, you can fire any motherfucker you want.
That's
for
what
any
I say.
reason
They're
you
like,
want,
no.
at any fucking time you want.
He needs
Even
to
for
go.
looking at you wrong. Well, Leatherface
I
is
know.
about to fire me. But that's the law of the United States.
We're
Unless
supposed
you're
to
in a
fire
union
them, right?
and
That's
you sign
what
a
I say.
contract.
Okay, so all of
It's
us
brutal.
are
We
going to
don't
go
care
fire
about motherfuckers
fire
like
them.
Europe does. You
What do
fight
you
like
think?
it's it. If your boss doesn't like you, they're like, fuck off. Get off my fucking property.
Yeah.
Well, wearing a
Get
shirt like that,
die,
yeah,
get
you can
out,
get fired.
you know?
Wearing a
And
spandex.
that's legal. It
Mustard,
sucks, but,
mustard
I mean, it's
splattered
legal.
everywhere.
Mustard splattered spandex.
Dude.
Leatherface is
Rick,
fucking
I-
firing me like at least 5
Rick,
times.
I had to get you, man. I'm sorry, Rick.
Poor Rake's got
He
moves.
paid me
I
twice.
know, but
and
we
he's
can't.
fired me
Come
5
on,
times.
that's just
Let's
like
talk about spandex.
that's just like the Nazis with the you know
I mean, no,
the cards.
I understand how people think that, but
That's fucked up.
but at
Leon.
some point,
Send me the
like if
papers.
I had like airborne fucking herp that I got, you know, banging chicks in the rainbow room,
Whoa.
and then like
Poor
it could
guys.
somehow get to your family, I wouldn't want that to get on your kid's fucking face. That's how it is. And now with the you know, with these other vaccines and stuff, people just it's a hard decision. Or like, is your choice hurting your neighbor?
No.
Or is your neighbor's choice
Come on.
hurting you?
No.
What happened? What happened to
And
my
that's the
body,
hard
my
part.
choice?
Yeah.
There you go.
I'm pro
I mean,
a lot
look,
of
we're going
things.
into restaurants. People are vaccinated. They're making our food. We're doing everything. We're doing this. We're doing that. We go to the grocery store. We do our thing. We've never had this kind of problem. Well, I want to know what's so important and what the fuck is up with those guide stones, dude?
I mean, part of me wants to end on
looking
this.
so good for
From,
us,
you know,
right?
from,
And we don't know. Hey, man, they could be taking me out.
There
They
you
could be
go.
taking you out. We don't know which side it is. Who knows? But those do exist, and they are pushing like there's no tomorrow, and there's no discussion. So I don't.
Right in front of everybody.
So all I know is
They're playing.
It's like they're mugging us.
Right there.
Is there
the
validity to
tombstone.
these things,
I just
or-
want to.
These are real,
Yeah,
yes.
it's a tombstone, all right.
Dude,
This
these
is a
are
fucking
real.
warm-up.
These
No, I know they're
This
real.
is
but
this
there
is the
validity
Rake
to
and
what
Leatherface
the
Amateur Hour
inscriptions
the inscriptions are there's
2005 show.
yeah,
The
they
real
want
fucking
it down
virus
to
is coming.
500,000. And
I've been
doesn't
waiting for
Bill
this shit
Gates
since
talk about how we
1988.
need to be down to 500,000 or 500 million people?
I've been
Good luck.
waiting for this since 1988.
Yes.
That's the first time it's hit. So this is
Hey,
the
and I
practice,
said,
people.
hey, they're
Let's
knocking down
party.
all these statues of these war guys that did this or did that, and they were
Like
blah, blah,
Paul
blah, blah.
Revere, like
Dude,
all
this is
Oh
knowledge.
no, you haven't
Those
seen
who
nothing
remove
yet.
history are bound to
All
repeat
those
it.
things.
You ain't seen nothing yet.
I'm
This is the
electing you to go
warm-up.
knock them down.
This is the
There we
motherfucking
go.
You,
warm-up.
Rake, go blow them up. You did Jackass. Go blow
I'm
up
not
the
blowing
guide
nothing
stones.
up, man.
Go do it. Come on.
Hey, so
Do
did Leatherface.
it for the team. Come on.
Face was
Nah,
a
the,
jackass too.
I
No, I
appreciate
wasn't.
you talking
There you
with
go.
us.
You can do a
Come
segment.
on,
I mean,
do
my
it.
feeling
Do it.
for
Put
my
it on
studies,
Jackass.
this is the warm-up. What's going to happen when it's 1% fatality? 1.5, 2.5. Motherfuckers better get ready. I
When
know
it's my
X is
time to
ready.
go, it's my
I
time
know
to
I'm
go.
ready. Leatherface
Well-
might be ready, but me and X are
Yes.
ready.
Don't
and
give up
we're
your
gonna
guns.
fucking, you know, we want to live.
Once they tell us we have to give up our guns, then we're really.
There
Then that's
we
when
are.
they. It's coming.
I mean, everyone got
Ain't gonna
guns.
happen.
Get that out of here.
Like,
We want to live.
like
Like,
it happen.
X, you want to
I
live?
like that guy.
Paintball guns.
I like the cowboy.
Yeah, it ain't gonna happen. I got black
got
powder
my
too. I'll go
guns
old
right
school.
here.
I got black
No.
powder rifles in my house. I got more Democratic guns than any motherfucker. You know what I mean? But that ain't going to save you in this new world. You need more than guns.
You think
You need
so?
RNA.
But we have natural, robust. Once you have it, you
Some
have
people
natural
do.
immunity. You have life. Hey, look at the Peter McCullough protocol is like the protocol that all the doctors. That's what India has done. They've taken that protocol and they have dropped their numbers. They don't even have.
Like at this point,
like
I don't
COVID
give a shit
what?
anymore. I study science. I study epidemiology.
Yeah, me
Motherfuckers
too.
are going to drop every day. Like what is it now? 1,500, 1,000.
Well,
but how do we know those stats are
drop.
even real?
I know. Well, look at they've already said like
give me a
almost 16,000 have died from the vaccination, but that's only 1%.
I'm gonna live
What's
with
the
that.
number when you add the other 99%? That's what I want to know. These are questions that I want to know. I'm a mom. Hey, wait a minute. You mean 16,000 people died and that's only 1%?
A lot of people are dying.
No, that's the vaccination. That's from the vaccination. That's on
I
VAERS.
mean, all I can say is, man, I'd like if they would have had an AIDS shot in my ass back in 85, 86, so I could try and get some ass and not be afraid. I would have did
Be
it.
out there banging, man.
I would have did it. I was afraid, man. First time I got pussy, I was afraid I was gonna fucking die.
If you had a vaccine for AIDS, you'd still be out there banging. You wouldn't even be here,
man. The first time I got pussy, I thought I was gonna die.
What year was that?
That was the last pandemic. I ain't playing
Rick.
this pandemic shit.
Rick, what year was that?
And look who was involved in that whole AIDS.
2000.
Wait a minute. Let's connect the dots with that one. Look who was involved with the whole AIDS stuff.
I don't play that
yes,
the
AZT.
shit, man. I gotta deal with
What's
that
his name?
in other places.
Fauci. Fauci's smelling. He's smelling
People.
Yeah, he's smelling a rat. I'm smelling a rat.
Oh, I don't know.
I smell a bunch of rats.
On AIDS.
Stephen Kirsch.
Yeah. What about him?
It smells like a rat den.
Tell him about Stephen Kirsch,
So
Melissa.
Stephen Kirsch.
Smells like a blue wave.
He was on the COVID task force.
I don't
He put
trust
out a
Fauci
huge
either.
PDF out on his website with a ton
Let's face it, you
of
don't trust
different
anybody.
biologists and virologists that have done their research and their
I
studies.
blame Arsenio Hall. I remember watching that
Arsenio
video
Hall.
when I was back in the 80s.
Look up the PDF. of the study.
Look up the PDF from Stephen Kirsch.
But
Yeah.
I'm gonna say
Arsenio
one
Hall,
thing,
who the
guys,
fuck
that's
was
gonna
it from
blow
the
you away.
Lakers?
I'm gonna say one thing that's gonna
Motherfucker's
blow
alive.
you guys away.
Okay,
What
tell
is
us.
it?
We loved Arsenio.
What is it?
Speaking of HIV,
But
Yeah,
I'm just saying,
Magic
AIDS,
Johnson.
COVID,
That's the only word I have to say.
I know.
Yeah.
it's all,
Look
I mean,
at
to
that
me, it's
fool.
all the same.
Yeah.
I don't like to fuck with it.
Magic Johnson made more money after he got
Yes.
that shit.
It's my man
Yeah.
Magic. That's what they
And
told
he
me about
found like
AIDS.
her,
That's what
and
they
yet
told me
never
about
shared
AIDS.
Color of my nails.
No, but we know what it is.
Teaching me how to put on the rubber so I didn't die, man.
Yeah.
Population
Like,
control.
Fauci, Magic Johnson, I love them all, man.
Magic
Arsenio,
Johnson got HIV and became
they're
a billionaire.
important to
Come
me.
on.
They're important
I
in my
know,
life.
right?
And how come you still living?
Yeah, no shit.
Of all
If it's
these
so
years.
deadly.
Because I
We
listened
know
to
why.
Arsenio Hall and motherfucking Fauci. And I'm good.
Yeah,
No, it's not Fauci. Fauci didn't help him.
Fauci, Arsenio, Magic.
No, Fauci
Boom.
was not
Man.
Fauci.
That's all I need. A little
Okay.
bit of a little bit of perp, a little bit of stick, maybe some X every now and then. Go hang out.
There you go.
So there's actually one thing I wanted to do to mix the show up.
Yes.
I'm gonna throw a curveball to Leatherface, so I hope he will just
Shit.
go with it.
Okay.
Leatherface,
Yes.
we were talking earlier today.
Okay.
I know you wanna bite your tongue on some things for your own sake, but you see how loose things are going, and you haven't really put too much in. I'd like to hear at least something that how you feel about the topic.
Yeah, man. Come on.
Personally.
It's open forum. We're all cool.
Well, I believe COVID was released with a deal with another country, with the current administration and some of the other both sides, to initiate the mail-in ballots, which helped botch the elections,
Yeah.
and also to bring in socialism under medical tyranny.
Yes.
Bingo.
Yeah, I'll agree with that.
Here we go.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
So I mean, I think it's just
Yeah.
not denying it exists, not denying it's killing people, but I mean,
Oh yeah, for sure.
I mean, cigarettes
Unleashed
kill.
on us for sure. It's
Look how many
real.
people cigarettes kill a year. As the
I know.
government is saying, hey, maybe people shouldn't be able to smoke cigarettes anymore. When they
Yeah.
start caring about us, is when I start worrying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know, right? Oh,
So,
we just care about you here. Bend over. We're gonna help you out.
Face, I do agree with what you just said personally. I think, and the government's always said it, make sure you take advantage of a disaster, basically, right?
Don't
They
let
always
a
do that
good
shit.
crisis go to waste.
While we're watching this hand
Right.
fucking us.
Yes, exactly. I mean, it's out of control.
There we go.
Just like that.
Yeah, a little short.
That's what they're doing.
Just like
Your
that.
Leatherface, I
Yes.
couldn't quite agree with you more.
See, buddy, I
Thank you.
knew.
But they want, in this case, they want us to bend over and smile.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
Well, I'm
exactly.
gonna live. I'm gonna puff. I'll see you motherfuckers on the other side.
No lube. Add sand, Tabasco.
But there's
Wrong
things you
cut.
can do. I watched. I know some friends that did the shot and were riddled with blood clots, and they used frequency to get rid of the blood clots, and it worked.
Huh.
Doctors couldn't do anything to him, so I can tell you that and how to do that and how to go about that, but not on air.
Okay.
And people are getting wiped out from the vaccine who have heart conditions too.
Yeah, exactly.
Sad.
It is really.
That's
sad.
why I ain't getting it. Screw that.
Hey, this shit is all bullshit anyway.
I've got
man.
4 kids to raise. I can't afford to be dead.
I'll go live in the
Bullshit.
woods and eat
I'm a you, man.
berries and bark.
I got too much living to do.
Yeah.
I'm hiding from those guys. Oh no.
You know, there's that old saying, get busy living, get busy dying. I'm staying living.
Yeah,
Every
me
day is
too.
a good day above the dirt for me.
Yep.
Yeah. Well,
Me
that's
too.
spoken like a guy who had a near death
Hey,
brush,
we're-
a brush
we're-
with near death.
But we didn't
Well,
even
more
know
than
that we
once
had it
in my
because
life.
it was
More
before
than
before the pandemic. I mean, I look back on that now, and I had flu where it was like a week, 10 days maybe. Going into almost 2 months in bed where I couldn't even do any. I had to have help going to the bath. Like I was so insane. I've never been that sick in my life.
You might
And
have heard.
I could feel my
what's funny?
organs. Hi.
I'm
I
43
could feel
years
my
old.
organs like literally. It felt like they were being twisted.
He's so cute.
I am 43 years old and I haven't had the flu since I was 17.
Yeah.
Legitimately have not had
Speaking of the flu, what
Yeah.
happened to the flu? You don't hear about that lately.
it.
The
Nope.
flu's gone. It doesn't exist anymore. We only have COVID.
Ah, coincidence.
Yeah.
A car
That's the only
accident's
thing- that's the
gone.
only
We don't
headline
have
there is
COVID.
now.
Looks like a duck.
You get hit by
walks
a
like a
train.
duck.
Oh, it was COVID.
Probably
Everything's
Right.
COVID. Everything's COVID.
Well, so let me get your guys' opinion. So
Yes.
in I think the last week in July this year, me and Rake, we're in a band called Purple Sticky, and we did a meet and greet, and after the day after the meet and greet, we actually met with some other people that were new to us and stuff, and recorded in the studio too. And so we had a full weekend of just being around tons of people, and we're both vaccinated. And as soon as I got home, I was sick for like 3 weeks straight.
Wow.
You might have got it, man.
It was I couldn't eat. I didn't eat. I could barely drink water. My taste and my smell was still there, but I was just on the couch and I was miserable. Like I'm not a guy who likes to complain at all.
Right.
And I was like moaning and groaning like a bitch. I was like, I don't feel good.
Yeah.
You might
No,
have
I
caught
know.
it, man.
That's how I was. I couldn't move. I was like, oh. That's
Right.
like I was doing that. It was weird. It was so weird. I remember my son going, "Mom, are you okay?" And I'm like, I don't know.
It
It
felt
was-
like if you have the flu and then a Mac truck came and did like finish the rest of the job. like-
Yes.
Yeah, I got infected
does.
too, man.
It's
But that
gnarly.
Yeah, ran the
all
fuck
them
over by a
fucking
goddamn M1 Abrams
chicks at the
battle
show,
tank is what
man.
it felt like.
That's
Yeah,
what, yeah,
it's-
that's some partying the fucking
they've
dark
already
ass bar.
the
in
vaccine
fucking
isn't
outside of
working.
Philly. What do you
My
expect?
my niece is a respiratory therapist. She's the one who puts the people on the ventilator. She's the one that helps them breathe. Was on the front lines, and they flew her in. We're in California. They flew her to New York. She was on the front lines there. Now she's saying that, and she's vaccinated, and she said that it's really scary. My nickname is Nay or Nene, and she's like, Auntie Nene. She's like, I don't want to do my job anymore. I'm sick. I'm tired of watching people die. And I said, what do you mean? And she said, well, they'll come in. And she said, I'll be talking to them. They look fine. We do a chest x-ray on them. And then she goes, a half an hour later, I'll hear code blue. I'll go into the room. She had this guy's just sitting up and blood clots are just pouring out of his nose and mouth. And he's dead in 10 minutes, like a fucking horror movie. And I said,
and no one took a TikTok of that shit.
I said, how often is that happening?
Come
She
on
said,
now.
a lot. And I said, was he vaccinated? And she said, yes.
So here's all I got to
That
say.
shit reminds me of the fucking movie Outbreak, for real.
Before I go anymore,
Shit,
you know what I
real
mean?
life movie
And
Outbreak
I mean,
right
she's
there.
saying this all the time. And I go,
recommendation
how
to
often
everybody
have you
on
seen
this
this? She says,
call,
every day.
if you want to give yourself the best chance to live a long, healthy life,
Well, tell that to him.
take the vaccine. That's all I'm going to say.
What we just said.
I can show you the numbers. You know what I mean? I can't fight with anecdotal, fucking Amityville horror blood clots.
Yeah.
Flying out of wherever they're flying. No.
Look, I just want everybody to be okay. I hope you guys are okay.
Yeah,
for the shot, and I
me
hope
too.
you're
But
okay for
people
not
have to
taking the
start
shot.
reporting these adverse events so they can get the blood chemistry.
But they've only reported, and look
what
at
the
they
clinical diagnosis is. You know what I mean? So that shit can be publicized.
But
so
this, I know they need to be talking about this, but they don't allow it. They don't
not
allow
like
it.
hide behind. Like I heard,
we need to
something
report
weird
this.
happened to Ray.
We do.
No, it's because I was
We need
doing
to
bad
report it.
stuff.
We have
Like, really
we
bad
have
stuff.
to have the dialogue. We need to be having conversations of what's happening with the vaccinations, what's happening with the unvaccinated. We need to be having these conversations all around the board.
Right.
And why don't they come up with a good old fashioned regular vaccine that doesn't do all this weird shit, that doesn't have all this stuff inside? You know, what happened to that? And why is it that the person who owns the patent on this and who owns the medicine to fix it is running the show and won't let us talk about the bad stuff? You got
I mean, it is what it is now.
Critical thinking. We have to use our critical brain.
Yeah,
so
I just want to end.
Usually in the old days, if
I
you
won't-
had someone come
I won't
in,
try and
if-
overtalk-
okay,
cut
Pokey,
anybody
I'll
else
say it
off.
like this. If you had this drug dealer come in and he's like, okay, I have these drugs and I'm selling to you, and they're bad drugs, right? And then he's
So
like, oh,
here's the
well,
thing.
I got something
That's
to
a
fix
good-
that.
that's a very good
I'm pretty
segue.
sure he'd be getting his ass kicked up and
COVID
down the
is
street.
fentanyl and
Like,
not
you would
fucking
be like,
fentanyl
dude,
everywhere.
you're going down. It's over
As far
for
as
you.
as far as I'm concerned, so yeah, I just want to tell you all this.
Yeah.
I think the shit's out of the box right now. I'm not sure if fucking anybody is going to be okay.
Me too.
All I can say is,
we're all
as far as I know,
they're both
the
the
vaccine,
vaccine's
which I have
clearly
more
not
stats
working because
for,
they're still
than
getting
most
it.
of the vaccines that they sell that your doctor already gives you, then you will have a better chance of living.
Oh, I stopped
how good that chance
when my
is.
youngest got hurt. I
fucking
was
tell
like,
you.
oh hell no.
I can't tell any of people. This shit mutates again. You get the freaking dirty dick Rake X version of fucking Corona. Could start in LA, maybe a big party weekend. You're fucking done.
Hey, Rake, I'm about ready to
It is
get your
what
wig
it
back,
is.
man.
And if you want to try and protect yourself, you can protect yourself. If you don't,
But they do say
But everyone has
if
to
you
live with the
get,
consequences.
look at you had COVID. They say that's like that is the best immunity you can get.
So, Rake,
Because it's like remember we got.
I mean,
we
that's
had-
what they
wait a
say,
minute,
but
we
realize
chicken
right now
pox.
you're a data
We didn't
point
get
to me.
chicken pox again. That was done,
All
right?
you people are a data
Come in a
point.
room and you have the chicken pox. It was over.
I mean, right now, all you people are a data
look at Gay
point.
Batman.
Yeah.
It's cool. I am too.
I know.
So let's get ready to
Look,
see the numbers.
I just want us to all be okay.
Hey.
You guys need to be doing your quercetin and all your stuff to keep your blood thin and cool because the only way you'll know if you have any
blood's
clots
thin.
of any kind is to have a D-dimer test.
I get no blood clots this at least.
Oh
I
yeah,
can
you're gonna keep them thin with that. Most people, I swear to God, the people that I know that are vaccinated seem like they're drinking way more alcohol than usual. So maybe subconsciously they're like, I need this shit.
So it's actually good to go out to the bar.
Because they're dying.
I would
Go
agree,
out with a fucking bang.
but I think
they're
on
like
my
at
end
least
it's because
two
I
COVID
became
tests
friends
with
with
purple
Rake.
sticky
That's why I'm
since then.
drinking more.
So, hey,
Yeah.
Rake, I'm about ready to pull your wig back, man. So I want you to go online. I want you to look up U.S. patent number dated 2007. Okay. The United States government actually owns the patent dated 2000 from 2007.
I know.
Yes.
For
No, so the
COVID-19.
professor
Yep.
is actually at,
And that is
maybe we can get him on
illegal.
the show, Perp. The professor who might get the Nobel Prize for it's at UPenn, right
Wait,
down the
what's
way.
his name? I had
Yep.
his name.
We can talk to the guy. You know what I mean? It wasn't easy to get RNA, which is an unstable molecule, formulated to the point where it would actually survive intact to actually make it to your ribosomes to actually give anybody a chance to even make a vaccine in a year.
Yeah,
Or
but
if
they
not, we'd all still be fucking.
This
at home.
dude was doing a gain of function with China. You trust that?
I wish.
You trust
Shit.
that?
I'd be rich.
No,
People ain't
he
doing no
was
fucking deals with
busted
China.
for
You
it.
know what I mean?
Fauci was
It's
actually
hard
funding the
scientific
fucking
work.
lab where this virus escaped
Yes,
from.
I
I
know.
bring you
And that
motherfuckers to the
little
lab.
weasel is up
You
there
wanna see
telling
the
us
lab?
all what to do.
You want to see
Aye,
how it goes
man.
down?
I say lynch him.
They'll bring you there.
The sleeping giant
No,
awaits.
talk to University of Pennsylvania. See how they have to use the lipid to encapsulate the RNA to even make it be stable at fucking
Yeah,
negative
he
70
needs,
degrees
he
or
needs a
negative
good
90
old fashioned knuckle sandwich.
That's hard work, man.
With
You don't
mustard.
just do that shit.
Yeah.
A lot of
People's
mustard.
kids are missing them. Like you gotta
Break.
stay long
And it's
hours.
so
to
funny.
figure
It's
it
like
out.
Break.
no kids have been
Break.
affected by COVID.
Break.
Okay, this is where you know.
You're right. A kid just got infected down the fucking street.
No, and that's not what I mean. I said
Hellboy,
my kid
calm
got
down.
stuck at
Calm
home.
down,
they're-
Hellboy.
they have been pretty good in like for dying and all that. I mean, it's like
Yeah,
the flu is
it ain't
the flu is
bad.
worse than that.
But I
The
mean, I
flu is
try not
worse
to
than
fuck
that.
around when it comes
Okay,
to
for
dead
between
kids.
0 and
Like,
18, right?
Like I wonder. I know more
Now
kids
that
got
Fauci
shot
has
in Philly
introduced,
than
now that
died of COVID, but it's still not cool.
right? No, now that Fauci has introduced the vaccine to these children, and he wants to
And
jack.
I'm going to introduce it to my children. If I just syringe, I do it right here on camera.
But it's just so funny that he's now, oh yeah, we're going to go for the younger kids. And right when he says that, he goes, well, this year, there's going to be a lot of kids in the hospital now. It's like, why? Because you're going to put him there? It's like, what the fuck is
I
that?
just don't want them to fucking
At the end of the
die,
day,
you know what I
I'm going to
mean?
say something.
Like, my
Your
one already
kids?
got sent
Of
home
course not. I
with a
don't
partial
know.
exposure.
Hold
Now,
on, hold
his
on.
teacher and her kids are fucking all roaned up, sick as shit.
Hey, I get it. I'm a mom.
I just don't want any more motherfuckers to die. I don't think
No,
it's
I
fair.
don't either.
Right.
I'm
So
so.
what's up, X?
I am like,
Hold on.
okay. I know I'm the stoned age chick, but this chick
I think you're smart.
has
I
never
think you're really
even
smart.
drank in her life. I don't drink. I don't do anything. I'm very clean. My
That's
husband
good.
smokes pot from sun up to sundown. I mean,
That's good.
that's his thing, you know.
That's good.
Some of my
Could be
kids party. They do that. That's what they like. I never like that because I don't like to put anything inside my body. I just don't.
I got something to say real quick. I got
But
something to
I'm
say.
very particular.
Wait, Harold,
with my
let me hear my buddy X, man. It's
Yeah,
been a while.
I got something to say. Out of all this stuff from the beginning, for one, they're trying to depopulate us. We all know that.
We know that.
Okay. For one, it's all about somebody being smart or being stupid. Either you're gonna take it or you don't.
Right.
Yep.
Okay. If you're smart enough, you would know what to do.
Right.
We ain't gonna talk about it. Oh, take
No.
the vaccine or don't take it. It's a person's choice.
Right.
I agree.
Now,
That's what
I
I
know
say,
some
too.
people right now that took that damn vaccination. They died or been paralyzed
I know.
or they're mentally not there. They're fucking stupid.
I know.
And not only that, it's all about getting ready for the chip. This is all
Yeah.
a test. This whole
It
thing is a
is.
test
They're just
of
seeing
the
how
mark
far
of
they
the
can push
beast.
us.
Let's be
Yeah.
real about it. Let's
It
be
is.
real
They can
about
push
it.
us.
You're on the
This is all
mark.
a test.
You're
I
on
mean,
it.
I don't
You're
know.
on
I
it.
don't agree,
Flag.
but
Dude,
I
you're
mean,
on the
I
mark.
I understand your position.
You're on it. That's
You're on
why
it.
the graphene
All right, good point.
oxide is in there.
You take it or you don't.
But look
There's-
at, hey,
there's
you know what
details
helps
on
get rid of
Facebook.
graphene oxide? If you guys want to know, is lion's mane. Lion's mane binds it and pulls it out.
Huh.
Take lion's mane.
I'm gonna snort some lion's mane then.
That,
Yeah.
mush- that
Whatever.
mushroom is really amazing.
Yeah, it really
I'll take
does.
them.
He's
None
like,
of my-
We're gonna
Have
have
a
like a
spring break.
holistic party.
you got your mushroom days.
Wrong type of mushrooms, Rake.
Although I will say,
Repository.
when I was young, I got slipped some mushrooms and some chocolate when I was young. I was 14, and I was like, "What the fuck is happening to me?" I was like,
balls.
"No way!" And that put me off of everything. I was like, "Whoa, no!"
That's a bad. Nothing's worse than tripping.
Not knowing
tells you you're tripping.
Yeah, and I'm like, I'm losing my mind. Why? I'm like, this is so weird. It was awful. So yeah,
that's awful.
So yeah, man, everyone just be safe.
Oh, I see it. Yeah, I've seen that pattern.
Either way, you know what I mean? You can fuck around later.
You're walking down the same road we're walking down.
I think he's 100% right. It's a whole system to prune us, prime us for what's coming.
Yeah.
I wish.
And they want to
your
see
motherfucking Lord
who's
Master.
bend over the easiest.
I'm wishing, Ray, because that's what's going to happen.
If it was that easy, I would have done that shit fucking 15 years
buy, sell, or trade.
Yeah, we do.
You'd all be like this, especially Leatherface.
Hellboy, calm down.
He'd be the king, bitch. I would have chipped his ass a fucking like with a big ass fucking 1980s microchip right in his ass.
Mustard.
Man, put it there for me, Rick.
If it was, I would have did it.
I love this guy. I love this guy. He's funny though.
I'm not even lying. I would have totally did it. It's a fucking him. He's the worst one.
He just wants to touch my tank.
Smack down on your candy ass.
Opposing sides, but I still love you.
Yes.
No, it's good. It's great to have this conversation.
No,
it's not. What a big fucking
again,
chip in my ass.
anytime.
I just want to go back to normal.
Come on, Faye, speak up.
We're going to go back to
normal.
normal. One way or the other. That's the thing. We're going to go back to normal. Bubonic plague, all that.
We will never go back to normal.
Yeah, because we have psychos running the fucking world.
So this is a big reset.
Yeah, what is normal, guys? This is normal now, according to them.
No, we don't want normal.
I'm talking motherfucker.
Wait, there's more of us than there are then.
Oh, I know.
It'll
remember the ant bully? All of you that have children, did you ever watch the ant bully? When they finally realized the millworms were working them, and they realized there was more of them than them.
My kids.
And
I'm the king ant.
Yeah. See, so there's more of us.
No, it's not that easy. You can't just. I mean, that's my personal opinion. You can't just fuck with people like that.
Hey, it's a great fantasy.
I would. Oh,
come on, let me have it.
So many scores to settle.
Don't ruin it.
And the first one, you'll know if the chip's working. You'll see the ball gag and a motherfucking mask.
Yeah.
What's gonna happen when that clock hits midnight?
Yeah.
What's
gonna
happen?
Good.
It's gonna be a pumpkin.
A whole new world. New world order.
You know what? On that note,
new world.
Yes.
I think we should wrap this show up.
Be...
And I have a feeling that in the future, Renee might join us again. Hoping.
I'll join you guys again.
Awesome.
Hey, you guys
with your friend. She was awesome.
Yes.
Love talking to her.
We'll join you guys.
I loved you guys. I think you're.
What was your friend's name?
See where we go.
What was her name? What's your friend's name?
Melissa Oakland.
Melissa.
Way too used to women's around these parts. It was nice meeting you guys, though.
It was nice meeting you. It was nice meeting both of you. Thank you to Leatherface, Gay Batman for just being there.
Shake and bake.
X for joining us. Wrangler Dave. I wanted to do this show personally. Everybody watching, I hope you heard everybody's different inputs and
I did.
You could relate in some way, and maybe
right away. You could tell by our conversation in the thing. You were really upset, and then I was like, "Hey, look, this isn't like." I understood where you were coming from.
I mean, no, your opinion is valid. No matter what.
I understood.
I only dropped truth
I wasn't angry.
bombs.
I was just like, "Look, this is where I'm coming from. I don't have anything against anybody who."
Right. But you know how it is with text, and then you don't know somebody. So I was like, oh shit, you know
Yeah,
what
no,
did I just do?
no.
This is
So-
what it's about, though, is loving one another and having respect for each other. I love that.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. We can all agree sometimes, and sometimes we can all agree to disagree.
Of course.
Exactly.
The world would be an ugly place if we were all the same. Yeah.
Right,
Yeah,
Shake and
exactly.
bake.
Boring as fuck.
Well, we greatly appreciate you joining us, Renee.
Absolutely.
Awesome show.
Thank
Dave,
you.
thank you for letting us have some of your time tonight.
Absolutely.
Man, I
it was
guess
fun.
rolled out, man.
You
So
guys
like
are
I said,
great.
take as much as you need, dude.
All right, so and that'll be the end of the show tonight. So everybody, we'll check
All
you
right.
next week.
Thank you.
Bye.
All right, everybody, have a good night.
Bye.
Bye-bye, ladies.
Peace.
Oh yeah.
Keep rolling, face.